What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and here, welcome back to the channel. It's raining because we're in Salzburg already, and yeah, what an amazing past couple of days, man. I went down from Denmark to Austria, back again, had two really good climbing sessions in Aktienbuch again. That was awesome. I checked out Hamburg, crazy big city, man, crazy big port. It's crazy to see all these big container ships where basically all the goods transport of Europe goes through, essentially. Visited Nuremberg. My friend, making another rather big leap on the map. You're here in the beautiful Nuremberg. Sunday morning, and all the little, market guys are opening up their stands now. If I can recommend anybody, if you want to visit cities and stuff like that, I can really recommend coming Sunday morning, because it has this kind of after going out feel. Everybody's a little bit tired, from the weekend, from partying and stuff like that. And at the same time, the markets, if there are any markets in the city, they are starting to open up, and you kind of get this really early morning feel. What a nice little sympathetic city, really nice place, I have to say. And then even Munich. We're in Munich now, and I think 2 days ago or something, the annual Oktoberfest started. The amount of leather pants is off the hood. Today we're hitting the boulder bar Salzburg. We're gonna meet a friend there. He's got these 7A benchmark boulders on the Moonboard there, and this has the potential today to be actually my first proper Moonboard session. So I will definitely try to get the camera in and also film a bit of that, maybe get some analytic bouldering done or something along those lines. And I'm also really curious to see how hard these benchmark 7As really are, and if I'm able to send some, We have one session, I'll see you inside.
Die Roden sind deswegen, mit den Roden wollten sie es ein bisschen vereinfachen. Was aber bei den Roden nicht so geil ist, du bleibst mit dem Fuß, wenn du aufziehst, recht oft mit dem Fußhänger.
Alright, so we are in the boulder bar Salzburg. Behind me the wonderful Moonboard, 40 degrees overhanging. We've got the 2017 Setting. Benchmark ist nachher das Harte von dem Grad, oder was?
Ja, das sind die, wo halt alle sagen, okay, das ist 7A.
Okay.
Also, ja, Moonboard 7A. Wenn du mit deinem Account eingeloggt bist, sagst du halt nur Exclude my Repeats. Ja.
Ah, ja, okay.
Das war es im Wesentlichen. Wenn du sagst, okay, 6A plus bis 6B plus, Benchmark, sagt er da, es gibt insgesamt 64 Benchmark-Boulder.
As usual with the Analytic Bouldering series, a little bit of a voiceover here. We are warming up in the background here, as you can see. And you can also already see a little bit of a morphological difference between me and Roland here, between these two climbers. And something which I didn't expect actually on these Moonboard 7A benchmark boulders is that there are some, tasty bits in terms of technique and stuff, because when you're thinking about system wall boulders, it's usually straightforward finger strength training, but here it's getting kind of interesting sometimes. So I hope to be able to point that out to you. We are done with the warm-up. Now we're gonna take some harder stuff, which Roland did not complete so far. So should be really hard.
Just trying to find it. This one.
So this is the first benchmark 7A boulder which we checked out. Let's have a look here. As you can see, it's these red, really open, really active to hold pinches here. And Roland is trying the first couple of moves here. The second move already is kind of hard. This is me on the flash attempt. First move, as you can see, on this open pinch, and then second move on this another rather open pinch again. And as you can see, I punted out there on the flash kind of pathetically, because I didn't quite get the super technical actually solution which would fit for me, which is this super high heel hook. So Let's have a look at it one more time. Right hand, super open, active to hold pinch, super high heel hook with the left leg, and then I'm able to lock it off to get this intermediate, stepping there, and then reaching further to the next kind of open crimp there. Moving into this super tiny crimp, and now it's getting interesting because this is the last final move of this boulder, this dyno onto this looking like a jog hold there. But actually, when we have a closer look on it, let's see this one more time in slow-mo. Here, Roland is losing his right hand on this super tiny crimp when jumping for the top jog, which is actually not really a jog. I hope to be able to demonstrate this in this shot here. You really have to push hard with your right leg, and then look at my fingers, you know, 2 fingers on top, 2 fingers on the side, and this is just exactly how you have to hit this top hold. And it's not really in cut, as you can see. It's kind of this open crimp essentially. I mean, it's better than a crimp obviously because you have to jump for it with full force, but it's not really a jog that you can just slap on and be sure to be able to stick it, you know. So here again, from the bottom, left hand reaching further, another big move, right hand into this crimp, letting go, really precise right foot, and boom. And bam, here I'm losing the right hand, just again how Roland lost it before. This is a really tiny crimp, a really tiny crimp for a 7A problem, definitely. And with a really tough last move. So yeah, we decided to keep going essentially, checking out the next 7A benchmark boulder because we didn't want to spend too much time on one problem. So here, another really interesting problem. Left hand goes into this really open wooden crimp, and then we've got this crossover dyno into this black edge there. And it's really essential to understand the movement mechanics of this dyno, so to say, to be able to stick it. In this shot from before, I really jumped with a lot of momentum and a lot of speed. So let's take a look at this one here. This was a lot calmer and a lot more active on the left hand actually. In the shot from before, I wanted to avoid holding the left hold with too much force, you know, because it's a really bad hold, admittedly. So you kind of try to avoid it, you know. But by doing that, you get a lot of force into your target hold. Now this time with this back step here, also with the right leg, it's a lot calmer, a lot more force goes into the left hand actually, and this way you're able to get a little bit less speed and, you know, sort your fingers in better, more properly, and this way you're basically able to stick it. It's hard to kind of demonstrate that in, you know, on a video format, but let's try and see how Roland does it here, because he was really strong on this problem. Left hand goes onto the open crimp, and there we go. And pay attention to his right thumb here as well. The right thumb has to be, you know, placed perfectly onto this black edge there to be able to hold it. And then we've got this another beautiful Gaston move into the top jog, but the crux of this problem really was the crossover dyno. And yeah, props to Roland for sticking that one just beautifully. This is the next boulder we checked out. So left hand goes into this white pinch there. Then we've got a little bit of a dyno into another kind of pinch hold. It's not too bad actually. Then another dyno again. I mean, for me, these are most of the time dynos. We will see how Roland is able to do these moves. And now with a really interesting last move. As you can see, the setter intended this to be one of these so-called ninja kicks, or, you know, that's at least how I call them. Is when you have to gain momentum with your non-stepping leg to be able to reach the next hold dynamically. And this is what I was trying to do on the flash attempt from before, but I figured, yeah, it's just too far away from me. I'm not that good in these dynamic moves, you know, so I had to figure out a different solution, and this is what I'm doing in this shot here. Pinching the white pinch from before with my feet actually together, which allowed me to match this black edge, this black open edge there. And this again freed the right hand hold for my right foot. And this way I can send this problem. So let's have a look at the sending go essentially. Moving with the left hand into the pinch, and tiny little dyno onto the next pinch, there we go. Sorting the feet in again, another dyno onto this open black hole again, and then pinching this pinch from before between my feet to be able to match it. And now hop, quick step onto the hold from before and grabbing the top hold. So this is how you basically have to solve a lot of these problems, you know, if you're relatively short and you can't really do the big dynamic move. Despite that, I wanted to try the ninja kick a little bit further, because I figured it was the intended beta, you know, so it would be interesting to be able to do that as well. And I got kind of close, as you can see here. So if you really take a lot of momentum, you know, swing with your right leg just into the right direction, you can actually get kind of close here, or I got close here at least. So yeah, let's take a look at the next benchmark 7A. This is a problem which was really straightforward. It involved these yellow holes there, which are just really tiny edges, you know. You're grabbing here from edge to edge, really straightforward. This is my flash attempt, and this is one of these problems which really suits me, you know. There's not really any big moves in there, it's just tiny holes with tiny distances, and as you can see, yeah, I failed a little bit to match the top hold here because of a slight technical mistake, which we are gonna take a look at in a second. So let's see Roland on this problem. As you can see here, really smooth, isn't losing his feet like I did, stepping kind of smoothly. And for him, this last move here is really the crux, you know, because he's a little bit taller, or actually a lot taller than me, and for his body size, he doesn't really fit as perfectly as I do into this situation here. But let's check this out here. This is the comparison between my flash attempt on the left and my sending go on the right. Sending go looks much more solid, and here you can see this beautiful drop flag here, which allowed me to be able to match it. In my flash attempt, I just made a foot switch and tried to match it that way, but then you get so much force into this top crimp that you can't really hold it, or I wasn't able to hold it. So let's check out Roland one more time here. As you can see, for him, the last move, boom, definitely a little harder, you know, because he's got so much body in between those holes here, and he's trying to do the back flag here as well to match, but yeah, here it didn't work out. And then we, as a kind of a bonus, we wanted to check out something a little bit harder as well. So we got onto this Shoulderman Easy 7B, which I think is from Ben Moon himself, and it contains this really interesting dyno into a Gaston, which from a momentum point of view is really interesting. So here you can just see Roland trying this move. And one more time here from another perspective. As you can see here, big move with the left hand into this kind of tiny crimp, then Gaston move into this next crimp there, and then jumping for this Gaston edge. And the interesting thing about this move is that you get this kind of twist into your into this move essentially, and as you keep twisting, it twists you off the wall. So the key really to stick this move is to prevent this twist. And you know, how can you do that? It's like kind of making a pirouette, you know. When you're taking a lot of weight into the smaller radius, you're twisting faster, whereas if you're keeping the weight at an outer radius, you're twisting slower. And this is what I did here by trying to keep my right leg in its position, you know, kind of close to the foothold from which you have to do this dyno. So let's take a look at it here again by Roland. And jumping for the edge here, and here we already got kind of close to sticking it actually. So for me, once I stuck the crux move, it turned out that actually the start is the challenge, because I can't really step the very low kicker footholds here for this very far move to the left into this small crimp. Here's a little bit of a comparison where I can see the start of us both. And as you can see, Roland steps here below on this kicker foothold, really nice move there, and I have to step on one of these starting holds, which is actually really high and makes this move really hard. And here Roland is sticking the move just beautifully, as you have seen. Just by keeping his right leg in position, he prevents this swing out, and then stepping the pinch from before instantly to be able to do the next move. Here we got it one more time from another perspective. Here this crimp, as you can see, really tiny crimp actually, and bam, going for the hold, and then just keeping the right leg on the right side, preventing the swing. And then we've got another huge Gaston move actually to an edge to finish this boulder off. So yeah, some post-workout epicness here. A little bit of post-workout epicness. Great session. Oh. Next flavor.